My name is Jacob, and I'm a divemaster in training, and I'm going to show you how to set up your gear. I'm going to start with the BC, just go over it a little bit.
What's BC stand for?
So, buoyancy compensation device. Some people call it just buoyancy compensator, BC for short, European, BCD. So, on the back, I have 3 separate straps. I have the main cam band, the cinch band, and then I have a support band, and then a band that goes over the cylinder valve. This is to prevent it from going anywhere if either of these just come loose. Then dump valves. I have I think five different ways of deflating my BC. So I have a main dump valve on the shoulder, one down here, which is underneath. Then if, let's say I'm struggling and I'm kind of head up and a buddy sees me, they can push this, there's sand in there. They can push this little lever. This is how you orally inflate the BC. You press the gray button, you breathe into it, and it would just, you let go, then you hold down the button, deflate. You can also pull, and that'll deflate it. Straps. Anytime you're putting on a BC, you need to make sure the straps are completely loose, so they should not be tightened down. That just makes it easier to get into it. Chest strap isn't as big of an importance of being super loose. Waist belt remains open. You place it on your everything, and then place it on. And this goes on like that. Waist belt comes around. You slide it through here, press this down. Doesn't have to be super tight, but tight enough where it's not going to go anywhere. Now, cylinder. This is a standard 80 cubic foot with a modular valve. So here's the O-ring, and this is known as the face O-ring. So I'm going to start setting up here. So I like to have the O-ring facing me, and starting with the very top strap, which is also known as a no-crap strap. I place it over, slightly pull so it's not as hard to get to, and I use this to adjust the height, and then just slightly adjust it to where I like it. Then start placing around the straps, making sure that everything is straight. I place this strap just to support it, which I'm just going to pull. The middle strap doesn't need to be tight, just needs to be on. Then the cinch band, I flip it, and then it's there. Make sure everything is straight the way it needs to be. And then while holding this slightly off to the side, cinching it down, then retightening the middle band. And now everything is set. So now to the regulator. So this is a standard regulator with only 1 second stage on it. This is a Mark II Plus. This is the first stage. Second stage, high pressure submersible pressure gauge, and a larger inflator, as I'm using an air tube as a secondary breathing apparatus. So dust cap, this always needs to be on the opening of the first stage, just to prevent any dust or water or anything going in. And then I like to furl it, placing the high pressure lower. And I like to keep in mind, the first stage is always going to be in between the cylinder and the BC. So if it's over here, it is on backwards. Holding these and placing them here for now, I can place this on top as this is already loose. And barely on, not even tight, and this is so I can adjust it when I need it. So I'm going to rotate this way. And then this over there, and this over here. And at this point I'm going to turn around the BC. So this is to show everything and how it's set up. I like to go 3 fingers with the 3rd finger slipping, and that's when I know it's just tight enough. Routing the hoses, just undo this. There's also a dust cap on my power inflator. Pull this back, and this just keeps it locked in. I pull it back, I push on, I can let go at this point because it's going to stay open, and then I can push the rest of the way. SPG is going to be routed through a hose retainer here, and then clipped on my right D-ring. And then also a hose clamp, velcroing it shut. Now at this point, pretty much ready to go. So now I place hand on top of the O-ring in case it pops or disintegrates. Gently adding the pressure to it. Once it's pressurized, I fully open the valve. Half turn back is not acceptable, as materials inside of the valves are now updated to allow for you to have it fully open without any issues. Next, we'll check the pressure. This is why I like it clipped here, so I can actually see it from my point of view. 37, and that's in hundreds of PSI. Depth gauge and a compass on the back. We're going to test the purge on my primary, and that would be, this is going to make a loud sound, but it's just a tapping noise, and I maintain a finger inside of the mouthpiece. Now I know that's working. I can now stick it on the waist strap here, which keeps it off the ground. Now my alternate air source, also known as an air tube. This is also a power inflator, and it is balanced. So to test if it is functional, it's the same procedure. It's going to make another noise. I keep my finger on the mouthpiece to prevent a free flow. That one's a little louder. Now I'm going to test the power inflator. And this is also going to make a sound. And because of sand, that's stuck open. So now we test each dump valve to make sure it's functional and not sticking open. So that's functional. And that's how you set up here.